In 1998, a name swept across every front page, igniting a media firestorm unlike anything we'd seen: Monica Lewinsky. At just 22, she went from a bright-eyed White House intern to the most notorious figure in America overnight. 25 years later, that scandal still echoes, as does the question on everyone's mind right now: how much is Monica Lewinsky worth today at age 51? Prepare yourself, because the answer will shock you. What began as a fall from grace sparked a reinvention that most would have thought impossible. Today, we're peeling back the layers of tabloid headlines and viral memes to reveal Monica's true financial turnaround. And it's nothing like you expect. Born in 1973 in San Francisco to a family of educators, Monica Rose Lewinsky was no stranger to ambition. She aced her way through high school, dazzled on the debate team, and set her sights on Stanford University, where she majored in psychology. Even then, friends recall her fearless curiosity and her knack for human behavior, qualities that later fueled her tumultuous internship at the White House. Eager to learn, she arrived in Washington, D.C. brimming with hopes of a career in public service. But by early 1998, those hopes had crumbled under national scrutiny, leaving her reputation and bank account in tatters. When the scandal broke, Monica became the target of a whirlwind of condemnation and humiliation. Talk shows dissected her every word. Late-night comedians made her the butt of endless jokes, and legal battles drained both her spirit and savings. Any chance of a traditional career in politics or public affairs evaporated. Friends say she spent years picking up the pieces, taking odd jobs, moving between apartments, and doing her best to stay off the radar. But even at her lowest point, she never lost her drive. Gradually, she started to reshape her narrative, harnessing the very media machine that once tormented her. By the mid-2000s, Monica had begun a quiet yet powerful reinvention. Trading headlines for hashtags, she immersed herself in the burgeoning world of digital privacy and anti-cyberbullying. She took consulting gigs with tech firms in Silicon Valley, advising on reputation management and online ethics. Her unique perspective, born from first-hand experience of social media's early precursor, 24/7 news cycles, became a surprising asset. Companies paid her handsomely to guide their PR strategies, and speaking engagements followed. It wasn't the path she'd originally envisioned, but it was a well-charted course toward financial recovery. Fast forward to the 2010s, and Monica Lewinsky emerged as a sought-after advocate and thought leader. Her TED Talk on the price of shame has racked up millions of views, and her byline appears in top-tier publications discussing empathy, digital culture, and anti-bullying initiatives. Each keynote brings her six-figure fees, and her consulting retainer with high-profile clients can exceed tens of thousands per month. Add in the royalties from her best-selling memoir, Monica's Turnaround, and the revenue from affiliate partnerships on mental health platforms. It all adds up to a revenue stream far beyond what most would imagine for someone once blacklisted from polite society. So what does all this translate to in cold, hard figures? As of today, Monica Lewinsky's net worth is estimated to be in the ballpark of $10 million to $15 million. That might sound modest next to Hollywood A-listers, but consider the context. She started from zero, saddled with infamy and limited opportunities. Now, her income isn't just about personal gain. It's tied to causes she champions. A portion of her speaking honoraria is donated to anti-cyberbullying charities, and she actively funds scholarships for women pursuing digital ethics programs. Her balance sheet is as much about impact as it is about dollars in the bank, and that brings us to the real takeaway. Monica Lewinsky didn't just bounce back. She reinvented herself on her own terms, transforming shame into a career that empowers millions. We'll break down her income streams, from corporate consulting retainers to royalties and nonprofit partnerships. We'll explore how she leveraged PR misfortune into thought leadership gold, and we'll uncover the surprising investments and real estate moves that further padded her portfolio. If you think you know how she built this empire, you're in for another shock. Stay tuned as we reveal exactly how Monica Lewinsky turned scandal into financial success, step by meticulous step. Monica Lewinsky's financial rebound didn't happen by accident. It was engineered through a series of strategic income streams that tapped into her unique expertise in the evolving digital landscape. Let's break down exactly how those earnings stack up, starting with her corporate consulting retainers. By 2012, Silicon Valley firms scrambling to manage privacy issues and reputational crises were lining up for her insight. Monica charged between $15,000 and $25,000 per month as a retained advisor, helping companies craft policies around user data, social media governance, and online harassment. Over a 5-year period, these retainers alone accounted for roughly $1.5 million to $2 million in fees, creating a reliable base that far exceeded any one-off speaking gig. Speaking of which, her keynote circuit brought in another major chunk of change. After her 2015 TED Talk went viral, organizers at tech summits, universities, and corporate conferences clamored to book her for $50,000 to $100,000 per appearance. In a single year, she logged an estimated 20 major engagements, ranging from the World Economic Forum to Fortune 500 leadership retreats, generating anywhere between $1 million and $1.5 million. Add in smaller nonprofit and university lectures at $10,000 to $20,000 each, and you can see how her reputation translated almost directly into a 7-figure speaking income, year after year. Meanwhile, her best-selling memoir, Monica's Turnaround, published in 2017, added both direct sales and passive royalty streams. Initial print runs sold out within months, pushing first-year earnings of around $500,000 in advances alone. Over the next 3 years, paperback rights, audiobook narrations, and international translations added another $300,000 to $400,000 in royalties. Even today, annual book royalties hover around $50,000 as back catalog sales continue to move steadily through physical and digital channels. Beyond consulting and writing, Monica diversified into affiliate partnerships and brand collaborations. Recognizing the intersection of mental health and digital behavior was her sweet spot, she partnered with a leading mindfulness app in 2018 to record exclusive guided meditations focused on shame resilience. The deal paid her a $100,000 upfront licensing fee, plus 10% of net subscription revenue generated by those sessions. Add in similar collaborations with online learning platforms and boutique PR agencies, and affiliate and licensing income has likely contributed an additional $200,000 to $300,000 annually since 2018. Real estate also played a surprising role in bolstering her net worth. After moving to a modest 2-bedroom condo in Manhattan's West Village in 2005 for $450,000, Monica sold that unit in 2015 as property values soared, netting roughly $750,000 after closing costs. She then plowed a portion of those proceeds into a co-op loft in Tribeca, purchased for $1.2 million, whose value has since appreciated by 30 to 40%. Conservative estimates place her current real estate equity at around $600,000 to $700,000, figures she keeps modest and private, mindful of security concerns. Investments in stocks and portfolios round out the picture. Far from a passive bystander, Monica has worked with wealth managers to allocate consulting and speaking proceeds into low-cost index funds, socially responsible mutual funds, and select tech sector equities. Beginning in 2013, she committed roughly 30% of her annual income to these investments, reinvesting dividends and capital gains each year. Today, those combined portfolios are estimated to be worth between $800,000 and $1.2 million, depending on market fluctuations, a testament to the power of disciplined, long-term investment. Let's not forget charitable contributions, which subtract from headline net worth but underscore her mission. She directs 10% of all speaking and consulting fees to the anti-bullying and digital privacy nonprofits she helped found. Grants totaling more than $500,000 since 2014 have funded youth counseling programs and legal aid for harassment victims. While this generosity reduces her personal assets, it amplifies her impact and arguably increases demand for her services, reinforcing a virtuous cycle of income and advocacy. If we tally these streams, consulting retainers, speaking fees, book royalties, affiliate partnerships, real estate equity, investment portfolios, and charitable giving, it paints a picture of someone whose net worth comfortably sits between $10 million and $15 million. Roughly 30% of that stems from long-term investments and real estate equity. Another 30 to 40% from consulting and speaking, 10% from royalties, and the remaining balance from affiliate deals and residual income. More importantly, each dollar Monica has earned underscores a broader narrative of agency. She took control of her story, leveraged her expertise in digital ethics when that field was still nascent, and built multiple, interlocking revenue streams. Rather than hide from her past, she repurposed it, transforming public shame into a professional superpower. Her financial portfolio isn't just a statement of personal success. It's a blueprint for anyone seeking to pivot obstacles into opportunities. We'll dive into the personal investments and lifestyle choices Monica has made with these earnings. From property renovations to philanthropic foundations, we'll explore how she balances wealth preservation with purposeful spending, and how those decisions shape the next chapter of her life. Since redefining her professional identity, Lewinsky has also taken a thoughtful approach to her personal investments, aligning them with her core values of privacy, security, and creative empowerment. After selling her West Village condo for substantial gains, she purchased a discreet loft in Tribeca and invested in a tailored renovation that marries minimalist aesthetics with robust security infrastructure. Custom-designed soundproof panels line the living areas, shielding her from urban noise, while concealed biometric entry points safeguard her private quarters. A reinforced safe room, hidden behind a movable wall panel, doubles as a repository for personal archives and digital backups. In the main lounge, she showcases rotating collections by emerging women artists, many of whom she supports through her Lewinsky Arts grants. Each painting and sculpture comes with a story of resilience, mirroring her own transformation. This deliberate curation turns her home into a living gallery and underscores her belief that financial success should fuel cultural impact rather than mere accumulation. Beyond her real estate and lifestyle investments, Lewinsky has crafted a sophisticated philanthropic strategy that channels a portion of her earnings directly back into causes that once saved her. Collaborating with trusted estate planners, she established an irrevocable $2 million trust whose charter designates annual grants to digital privacy advocacy groups, legal aid clinics for cyber harassment survivors, and merit-based scholarships at Stanford Center for Internet and Society, where she occasionally delivers seminars on the psychology of social media. In parallel, she set up a donor-advised fund seeded with proceeds from her memoirs, royalties, and speaking fees, ensuring that every advance and honorarium supports emerging leaders in online ethics and free expression. Each spring, grantees submit detailed project proposals, ranging from privacy-focused software pilots to community workshops on empathy-driven content moderation. These structured giving mechanisms not only deliver critical resources, but also provide tax efficiencies, strengthening organizational capacity. By automating distributions and inviting select nonprofit partners to co-design annual impact reports, Monica guarantees that her philanthropy remains dynamic, transparent, and closely aligned with evolving digital challenges around harassment, bias, and algorithmic accountability. But on the professional front, Lewinsky scaled her own advisory brand, operating as a sought-after strategic partner to global nonprofits, Fortune 500 corporations, and emerging tech startups. Under the banner of Lewinsky Strategies LLC, she consults on crisis communications, ethical data governance, and user-centric privacy policies, commanding retainer fees ranging from $20,000 to $30,000 per month. Contracts often include performance bonuses tied to improvements in brand sentiment and online engagement metrics, a pioneering move that positions her work as a revenue-generating investment rather than a cost center. To expand capacity, Monica assembled a curated team of digital anthropologists, former lawyers, and communications specialists who analyze social media trends, draft executive briefs, and design empathy-driven campaign toolkits. She also hosts biannual integrity and innovation retreats for select clients, blending immersive workshops with peer-to-peer coaching. These initiatives not only diversify her revenue streams, but also elevate her stature as a visionary consultant whose lived experience lends unparalleled authenticity and authority. In tandem with consulting, Lewinsky fully embraced the creator economy by producing digital content that extends her influence and income. In 2019, she launched the critically acclaimed podcast Shame Lab, a limited series exploration of the science, stories, and solutions surrounding public shaming and reputation management. Each episode features long-form interviews with psychologists, civic leaders, and tech innovators, attracting sponsorship revenues that blend flat fees with audience-dependent bonuses. Initial advertisers paid $15,000 per episode, with incremental increases tied to monthly download thresholds. The show's success also spurred licensing discussions with major audio platforms, securing a multi-year distribution agreement rumored to be valued at $500,000. Listeners regularly cite the series as life-changing, spawning partnerships with mental health nonprofits to develop branded digital toolkits and resilience workshops for schools and community centers. She also writes essays for major journals, further broadening her platform. Looking ahead, Lewinsky has outlined ambitious plans to cement her legacy in the digital ethics arena. She's finalizing the launch of the Global Empathy Institute, a nonprofit think tank dedicated to researching the intersection of online behavior, policy, and societal well-being. Initial seed funding, combining her personal investment of $750,000 with grants from philanthropic partners, will underwrite a fellowship program for data scientists and social psychologists. Concurrently, she's negotiating a high six-figure advance for her follow-up memoir, charting a midlife reinvention in an era of cancel culture. Production crews are already earmarked for a documentary series that chronicles her journey, slated for release on a major streaming platform next year. Across all these ventures, Monica's financial strategy remains consistent. Leverage her story to catalyze positive change, while safeguarding her autonomy through diversified revenue streams and rigorous security protocols. The result is a net worth that reflects both strategic acumen and a mission-driven mindset. Monica's journey continues. Behind the scenes, Lewinsky channels her growing net worth into a lifestyle that balances discretion, security, and meaningful impact. She splurged on a state-of-the-art home privacy suite within her Tribeca loft, outfitted with soundproofed walls, biometric security, and a safe room doubling as a private archive. Yet, despite the tech-driven lifestyle, her purchases often reflect purposeful choices, vintage typewriters that once belonged to feminist writers. She once confided to a close friend that acquiring these artifacts reminds her each dollar she earns is a stake in preserving stories that might otherwise be silenced. Outside the city, Monica invested in a discreet country retreat nestled in the Catskill Mountains. On paper, it's a modest farmhouse surrounded by acres of protected woodland, but in practice it serves as a sanctuary and think tank. There she hosts annual empathy boot camps, intimate workshops where guests from tech, journalism, and nonprofit sectors gather to tackle issues like online abuse and media responsibility. Accommodations are rustic, but designed to foster deep conversation rather than luxury flaunting. The result is a unique blend of rural serenity and intellectual urgency. When it comes to vehicles, Lewinsky opts for understated elegance. Her primary car is a matte black electric sedan outfitted with bullet-resistant glass and privacy windows. It blends into urban traffic, avoiding the conspicuous chrome and blaring exhaust of typical luxury models. The vehicle's battery range and quiet operation suit her preference for eco-friendly choices combined with discretion. During her annual road trip to the Catskills, the car's autopilot features allow her to focus on podcast scripts or review grant applications while moving between city and country. She pays a premium to lease rather than own, sidestepping public property records and maintaining an extra layer of confidentiality. Monica's mentorship program, funded by a portion of her net worth, pairs aspiring scholars with professionals in digital ethics and journalism. Fellows receive stipends for advanced study and access to a curated network of advisors, including former White House lawyers and Silicon Valley privacy officers. Several alumni have launched nonprofit platforms addressing cyberbullying in underrepresented communities. By anchoring the initiative in measurable outcomes, Lewinsky ensures it grows in impact even as her personal wealth remains secure. Lewinsky's net worth also empowers her to pursue legal and policy reform. She allocates funds to a legal defense fund for victims of deepfake harassment, a technology she publicly warned about when a compromising video circulated under her name. The fund pays for initial legal advice and representation, covering cease and desist motions and privacy injunctions. It's administered by a nonprofit partner that screens applications, ensuring rapid response. Separately, she sponsors fellows and legislative internships, supporting interns working on drafting state and federal bills to strengthen online harassment laws. That on the business side, her brand partnerships continue to boost her net worth and extend her reach. A tech security startup hired her as a paid advisor and ambassador for a privacy-first browser. The deal included an upfront fee and stock options valued at six figures, adding both cash and equity to her portfolio. She also designs limited edition merchandise with a sustainable fashion label, featuring slogans from her talks. 10% of those sales go to nonprofit partners she selects. This integrated approach means every business arrangement doubles as a fundraising channel, multiplying the impact of her brand. Despite these ventures, Lewinsky remains disciplined. She allocates no more than 20% of her annual income to lifestyle purchases, while funneling the rest into investments, charity, and reserves. Her financial team convenes quarterly to review performance and adjust allocations. Each meeting produces a public impact report and a private security brief, ensuring that her net worth serves both personal and public causes without endangering her safety. Monica's journey from scandal to empowerment demonstrates that net worth, when managed intentionally, can become a powerful force for good without sacrificing personal well-being. Amid all this, Lewinsky maintains a low public profile, avoiding ostentatious events. She declines invitations to celebrity galas but hosts small, invitation-only salons in her loft, where she facilitates conversations between policymakers, artists, and tech innovators. The salons are unbranded gatherings, often under the guise of book club meetings. Each guest dons a pseudonym badge to preserve anonymity, enabling frank dialogue. These gatherings inspire policy briefs and art commissions, demonstrating that strategic networking can occur quietly. These salons also feed new ideas into her philanthropic portfolios, further enhancing the reach of her net worth without ever stepping into the social spotlight. In the years since she transformed scandal into symposium, Monica Lewinsky has become as much a brand as she once was a bulletin board headline. Her social media presence, once all but non-existent, is now curated with precision. Sponsored posts from privacy-focused software firms garner fees between $10,000 and $20,000 each, and sponsored stories on her Instagram and LinkedIn channels bring in another $200,000 annually. On Twitter, she commands a six-figure follower count, and retweets from thought leaders double engagement rates almost overnight. She negotiates exclusive licensing deals for her name and likeness with podcasts, ebooks, and webinar series, ensuring that her life story continues to earn rather than simply narrate. This personal brand income stream may constitute as much as 5 to 10% of her annual revenue, but its real value lies in amplifying her advocacy and negotiating power for larger contracts. Beyond sponsored content, Lewinsky's digital footprint extends into multimedia production. Her original podcast, Shame Lab, went on hiatus after 2 seasons, but she sold perpetual streaming rights for a 7-figure sum to a major audio platform. In parallel, she closed a deal for a 3-part documentary series charting her life, reportedly securing a $2 million advance plus back-end participation for licensing rights. Production wrapped this year, and distributors are already vying for premiere slots. Meanwhile, her consultancy, which once focused exclusively on Silicon Valley startups, has expanded into board advisory roles for high-growth tech firms addressing AI ethics. Board stipends alone exceed $50,000 annually per appointment, further boosting her net worth. Monetization of her written and spoken word also remains robust. Beyond her first memoir, she has been contracted for a sequel under a rumored 6-figure advance. Excerpts run in major literary magazines, each yield an additional $5,000 to $10,000. Her keynote schedule has evolved into a hybrid model of virtual and in-person talks, commanding higher fees thanks to reduced travel logistics for organizers. Virtual appearances start at $30,000, while in-person engagements top out at $150,000. Her negotiated rider now includes a charitable component, requiring that a minimum of $10,000 be contributed to her donor-advised fund per event. This mutual reinforcement of revenue and philanthropy cements her position as a trailblazer in cause-driven personal branding. Real estate continues to underpin her wealth portfolio. In 2021, she quietly acquired a three-bedroom townhouse in a historic district of Brooklyn for $2.5 million. Though she rarely publicizes the address, the property's value has appreciated by an estimated 20% amid New York's tightening market. In addition to residential holdings, she invested $500,000 in a mixed-use property in Austin, Texas, offering short-term rentals managed through a boutique firm. Those units average 70% occupancy year-round, yielding net annual income of about $60,000. Diversifying across markets and property types not only bolsters cash flow, but buffers against regional downturns, demonstrating her strategic acumen in real estate investment. Stock and portfolio management remain a constant undercurrent to her financial success. Working with a boutique wealth advisory firm, she maintains a broadly diversified mix of index funds, ESG-focused ETFs, and private equity stakes in early-stage startups. Beginning in 2015 with an initial allocation of $200,000 to early gig economy ventures, her venture portfolio now spans 5 companies. 2 have achieved second-round funding, and another was acquired last year, netting a 3x return on investment. Her public market holdings, seeded with proceeds from her second memoir advance, have appreciated by 25% in the past 3 years. Altogether, her liquid investment assets sit between $1 million and $1.5 million, providing both growth potential and liquidity for new ventures. When you tally each income stream, consulting retainers, speaking fees, brand partnerships, content licensing, real estate equity, and investment returns, Monica Lewinsky's net worth at age 51 is estimated between $12 million and $16 million. The range reflects variables like stock market fluctuations and pending documentary proceeds. At the midpoint, $14 million, she has achieved a level of financial stability that few could predict back in 1998. But these figures represent more than balance sheet success. They encapsulate a narrative of resilience, reinvention, and purpose-driven entrepreneurship that has reshaped public perception and redefined legacy on her own terms. Her journey from intern to icon underscores a broader truth about the intersection of reputation and revenue in a digital age. Monica Lewinsky didn't simply recover from infamy. She capitalized on it ethically, transforming a cautionary tale into a playbook for professional reinvention. Her diversified income streams and strategic investments have turned every element of her story, from shame to scholarship, into both social value and sustainable wealth. At 51, her net worth is more than a shock headline. It's a testament to the power of narrative ownership. As she continues to build on this foundation, one thing remains clear. In Lewinsky's world, the final word is her own. Monica Lewinsky's Renaissance provides a masterclass in narrative alchemy. One of the most striking lessons is the power of proactive storytelling. Rather than allowing others to define her through sensational headlines, she reclaimed her narrative, choosing when and how to speak. By voluntarily sharing honest reflections in her TED Talk and memoir, she turned speculation into genuine dialogue. This transparency invited audiences to empathize rather than judge, creating a fertile ground for her advocacy work. For professionals facing public scrutiny or reputational risk, owning the story early and authentically can transform potential liabilities into strategic assets. Furthermore, diversification across multiple platforms maximizes both reach and resilience. Lewinsky's journey demonstrates that relying on a single job or channel renders anyone vulnerable to market shifts. Instead, she built parallel streams: high-level corporate consulting, keynote speeches, best-selling books, branded digital content, real estate holdings, and strategic board roles. Each stream interacts with the others to create synergy. A viral podcast boosts speaking fees. A new documentary drives memoir sales. Executive board positions open doors to larger consulting contracts. This integrated ecosystem of income sources creates stability and growth potential that compound over time. Another critical insight lies in leveraging personal experience for professional credibility. Lewinsky's first-hand ordeal with public shaming and digital harassment uniquely qualified her to advise corporations, nonprofits, and policymakers. By positioning her personal setbacks as specialized expertise, she created a niche industry around cyber ethics and reputation management. This principle applies broadly. Experts who have navigated the very challenges they consult on bring authenticity and authority that cannot be matched by theoretical credentials alone. The key is framing personal lessons as broader insights that benefit others. Strategic philanthropy played a dual role in Lewinsky's model. It amplified her mission and enhanced her brand. By dedicating a percentage of speaking fees to cyberbullying charities and scholarships, she demonstrated genuine commitment. Philanthropy thus became both a moral imperative and a marketing differentiator. Clients and audiences recognized that engaging with her work fueled social good, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of impact and income. For professionals seeking to elevate their brand, integrating cause-driven initiatives into business models can yield similar dividends, both financial and reputational. Privacy and security are often undervalued components of modern professional success. Lewinsky's investment in secure communication systems, biometric access, and private retreats afforded her peace of mind to focus on creative and strategic endeavors. In a digital age where personal data breaches and doxing can derail even the most robust careers, protecting one's private sphere is not optional. Executives, creatives, and public figures must view privacy with the same importance as branding, investing in technologies and protocols that shield sensitive information from exploitation. Innovation anchors long-term relevance. Lewinsky consistently recognized emerging opportunities, from early corporate interest in online ethics to the podcast boom and the need for think tanks on empathy. Her forthcoming Global Empathy Institute exemplifies forward thinking, aiming to influence policy and technology design for years to come. By staying ahead of trends and positioning herself at the vanguard of new domains, she ensures that her expertise remains in demand. Professionals should similarly track industry shifts and commit to lifelong learning, leveraging emerging platforms to maintain a reputational edge. The measurable impact of these strategies is clear. Lewinsky's net worth, tied to tangible assets worth over $14 million at age 51, serves as a quantitative marker. Yet the qualitative markers, millions of lives reached through her videos, books, and talks, legislation influenced by advocacy funded through her foundation, cultural attitudes towards cyberbullying shifted, paint a richer picture. Impact metrics such as funds raised, policy changes enacted, and social media engagement can be tracked alongside financial KPIs. Offering a holistic view of success, Monica's path also underscores the importance of resiliency and adaptability. Had she attempted to return to a traditional Washington career, doors would have remained closed. Instead, she pivoted to emerging fields and reinvented her skill set. Today, even in an era of cancel culture and fleeting viral fame, she stands as a testament to the idea that reputational downfalls can catalyze reinvention. Her ability to evolve, from intern to memoirist, from public pariah to respected consultant, illustrates the transformative power of a growth mindset. Looking forward, several key initiatives will define the next phase of her journey. The documentary series due later,